Okay, here we are with game one of Slobad. Our general opponents are going to be Jorkadim, which is a very aggressive type of general. He focuses always on the Metalcraft ability, which is a very powerful pump for himself and any army that he's commanding. He can kill with general damage, Voltron style, where you use him as basically a very efficient 8-4 body with first strike, and just try to deal that 21 lethal damage. Or you can go for a token army, swarm the board with as many creatures as possible, and then use Jorkadim as a giant offensive pumper to deal as much damage as quickly as possible. Generally, I see decks using the commander as a bit of both. He can go Voltron-y and he can also go Swarmy at the same time. So he's a very aggressive commander. Then we also have Thad Adel. I showed her off in my Talrand deck. She's a very good stuffy type general, just generally good, very good card advantage. Because blue is the most popular color in EDH, she always has her Island Walk affecting at least one opponent. And in general, just because some people won't have creatures out, she can always hit in for damage anyway. And because almost every deck runs Sol Ring, that's an easy ramp target that she can acquire from other people to be mana ramp and just good card advantage. And then otherwise there's always some good artifacts either to get, such as swords or solemn simulacrums, anything to get value. And for 3 mana, she always gets her value, really. Then we have Nin the Pain Artist. She works basically like any Izzet deck, like the Niv Mizzet, where there's a lot of card draw, a lot of burn. She's very infinite happy champion, just in the colors. But what sets Nin apart from other generals, other than her cheaper mana cost, is the fact that she can get away with some shenanigans with her ability. For example, she can use Creepy Doll and deal her damage to Creepy Doll, which is then redirected to the opponents. Creepy Doll doesn't die, and she draws a whole bunch of cards. So there's shenanigans up with her that are pretty fun and interesting. So I keep this hand. It's not a wonderful hand, but it does have 2 lands, and it does have a little bit of ramp. Sculpting Steel can be used to copy a Iron Mirror to get a bit more ramp, but ideally I'd be using it on some other artifact that an opponent plays. So again, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. So we start things off, and everybody's just playing a land. Oh. We get an artifact here that is basically ramp that you have to put storage counters on to actually make it work. I don't think it's very good, but if you need some more ramp, I guess it's okay. Otherwise, the rest of us are just playing lands. Nothing too crazy going on just yet. And here we see with a little bit of ramp that Adel comes out. And the response here is to play Gilded Drake. Gilded Drake switches itself for control of another creature, so he's going to be stealing Thad Adel for a Gilded Drake, which is a very good trade, I'd say. Now Thad Adel can be using the Island Walk ability against her owner, and me stealing the Sol Rings and whatever other cool artifacts are actually in there. So otherwise, not much is going on. Thad Adel is using her ability on her maker, stealing Lightning Greaves to make sure that Thad Adel can no longer be stolen back so easily. And for me, I don't really have anything really good going on. I'm hoping to draw more lands. This guy plays something to screw people who are trying to search libraries too much. I think it's a perfect complement to Stranglehold and even Mind Sensor. This isn't as good as those 2 cards, but it's perfectly fine as just like a redundancy. And then here we got Mind's Eye, which means this person's going to draw a whole bunch of cards. I mean, I have my own Mind's Eye, but we'll see what happens. So Thad Adel is continuing to get value out of this person, and I guess he stole a Journeyer's Kite. I'm not really sure what went on there. And for me, I decided to just copy Mind's Eye. I think this was a kind of a bad idea. Probably should have kept Sculpting Steel for something else, especially when I have my own Mind's Eye. But I figured might as well get Mind's Eye out 1 turn earlier. I get to draw 2 cards out of it right off the bat, so I guess it's worth it. And then I could get 2 Mind's Eyes out at the same time if I really want to draw an absurd amount of cards, but I probably don't need that. But anyway, now I get to draw 2 cards that turn, where I wasn't going to really do anything that turn. And our Jorkadim player doesn't even play his commander, even though he had the opportunity to do so, which I find a little bit weird. So my opponent does nothing, the Fat Adele opponent does nothing, just being content on drawing cards. This one, the Nin, gets a sack outlet, and just keeps hitting around. I guess there were no more good targets to steal from the Fat Adele player, so he went for Arc/Jorgadim player, which would make sense because he's playing Metalcraft, so obviously he's going to be running some good artifacts. But at the same time, there was Leonin Arbiter who could actually block. I don't think the person controlling Fat Adele actually realized that he could block, so he lost Fat Adele, which probably would have been pretty good to keep. Probably should have just swung it at me because I'm also playing an artifact deck, so there's bound to be good things to steal from me. But that happened, and here we go. I decided to draw some cards because why not? It didn't hit a mana, it didn't hit a land drop, and by drawing a card I actually did so. And I'm just going to be ramping a bit more, taking things slow. And I'm going to continue to draw cards because why not? Now our opponent plays Stone Hero Giant, probably one of the best card advantage cards in White, I'd say, just because every single turn he can be attacking and also be fetching equipment cards from the library. So pretty sweet value card in White. And our opponent has 9 cards in hand, so he has a lot of plays, potential plays at least. And Solemn comes out, so I don't really know why Fat Adele didn't swing against this guy to just steal Solemn. I think that would be pretty worthy than trying to go for like Arc/. Maybe he wanted to get rid of Fat Adele, maybe he wanted to get rid of the Leonin Arbiter, I don't know. So he keeps swinging, the blue players keep attacking each other. That's all well and good for me. And I continue to draw cards, as is my opponent. And still not that much is going on. Trinket Mage steals Skull Clamps. Now everybody but Jorkadim has a lot of card draw outlets. Or at least when the Trinket Mage dies, then it will. So it's my turn, and I don't opt to draw any cards because I'm going to be discarding at this point, and my hand's pretty sweet, and there's nothing I really do want to discard. So I think, yeah, what I do here is I play Horde Smelter Dragon, mostly as a bait. I want somebody to remove it, and he is a big threat if he actually manages to go around the table, but I didn't think I was going to be playing him at any point in time anytime soon, where you can land on the table and then kill an artifact. So I just played him out here first because I want whoever has removal to use it on him so I can play Hellkite Tyrant, which essentially does the same thing as a Horde Smelter, except it's just more powerful. So he's threatening the board right now with destroying Skull Clamp and Lightning Greaves and like this Journeyer's Kite. And whatever Jorkadim fetches up with equipments, he can potentially destroy as well. So everybody on the board has a reason to hate him. And this guy fetches Darksteel Plate, making whatever is equipped indestructible. And we also see here that now he's dealing double damage with this enchantment. So he's starting to deal some good damage. He swung at me for 8, just with a random hit. And a duplicate comes out, sorry, and unsurprisingly it targets my Horde Smelter Dragon, so obviously it doesn't start, it doesn't survive a turn, so it can untap and do nasty things, which is fine. I kind of expected that, and I had to be discarding anyway. So at this point, now I feel like Hellkite Tyrant has a chance at least to survive. And the Trinket Mage is killed off by Phyrexian Altar to draw 2 cards. And we see Royal Elemental, which means now stuff is going to be stolen until the Royal Elemental is destroyed at least. And it's going to be more difficult to be killed now that Lightning Greaves is on the field, so pretty good synergy over there. And the Stone Hero Giant stolen, and the Lightning Greaves is on the Royal Elemental. So at this point, I play Ruination. It doesn't actually take anybody out of the game because everybody's dual colored, so they're playing a good amount of basics. But what it does do is it takes out Maze of Ith, which I really wanted gone in case I need to attack with one creature. And it also got rid of Academy Ruins, which is a great source of recursion, and a bunch of other spells. I just put these 2 guys behind, whereas Jorkadim doesn't really care. But the main idea behind that was to take out the utility lands. Then I follow it up with, I think, the Tyrant? Not sure. Nope, just some more mana ramp. I'm slow rolling this thing. And we're drawing more cards, because why not? Insurrection, one of the best spells in red. Yeah, very, very sweet finisher. Jorkadim plays Hound of Gristlebrand, so now he's hitting for 8 damage and he's indestructible. Soon to be hitting for more as soon as Jorkadim lands on the field and gets another artifact on the field. Otherwise, our Thadadale player is just ramping even more. For what? Nobody knows. And people are attacking. The 2 blue players just hate each other, it seems. And they're going at it. And the both of us are just merrily drawing lots and lots of cards off Mind's Eye. Royal Elemental steals my mirror, which is okay. I don't really need the ramp. At this point I'm pretty much covered with my mana base. So they're still hitting each other. All well and good. What I do is I think I do Insurrection at this point. My hope, my poor hope was trying to steal also the equipment and trying to sack that, but I don't actually control it. But even when I do Insurrection right now, I deal a whole bunch of damage, and I get to sacrifice a Solemn to draw a card, and I get to get rid of the duplicant, just as value, added value. So yeah, Insurrection happens. I'm not in the mood to actually kill somebody. I'm just dealing a lot of damage and also sacrificing the artifact creatures that I steal. So I spread out the damage fairly evenly. I'm focusing on the blue players because I'm more afraid of them than Jorkadim. I feel like I can handle Jorkadim a little bit better. And yeah, I sacrifice the Solemn. And I use the Royal Elemental on the Hound. I couldn't use it on the Royal Elemental itself, which would have been a pretty sweet play because of Lightning Greaves. But oh well. And I also play Karn because I just want to drop some more cards. And yeah, things are looking good. I'm in a pretty sweet position. And Jorkadim is going for the blue player, just trying to kill him. I kind of set him up for that because I brought them down to lethal with the Insurrection. It wasn't my plan to kill anybody, but Jorkadim decided, you know what, let's go for him. Go for the kill. So, out goes one player. And Jessica comes out. And now she has Death Touch and Lifelink, and she deals double damage. She goes for my commander. Which is okay. He doesn't have a follow-up like mass artifact destruction, so I'm still in a decent spot. And I'll just replay him another time. Spell Twine comes out, and that's an interesting one. And that also makes me happy that Slobad is actually dead right now. Else things could have gotten really ugly for my side of the board. So he Spell Twines Insurrection and a Fabricate. Good and good. Ooh, getting a Phyrexian Metamorph. Okay. And he swings at Arc Slash, who is at the highest life total at the moment, and brings him down a notch of it. And he also uses Jessica to take care of the Stone Hero Giant. And then he also, for added value, sacrifices with High Market, right? Yeah, with the High Market he played. So a pretty brutal Insurrection. Insurrection is usually brutal. And he gets his own Hound, and it's my turn. And I don't know what I'm playing. I think it's the Hellkite Tyrant. Oh, no, I'm just Shattering Pulsing. I got rid of the collar, so Jessica can't keep doing that nonsense to me. And Slobad comes out again. And I do the Mycosynth Wellspring. I probably should have just went for Liquid Metal Coating, because that's a pretty good combination with Karn. I don't think I realized it in this game, actually, that I could just target a land and then destroy it with Karn by turning into a non-creature with power and toughness of 0/0. Oh well. Well, I do play the Liquid Metal Coating. I don't have enough mana at the moment because I played Mycosynth Wellspring to target to start killing lands with Karn. Well, that's fine. And this guy attacks me. I just make my Karn indestructible and sacrifice some Mycosynth Wellspring, which gives me yet another land. So very card efficient card with Slobad. And he decides to kill my Iron Mirror in response, and I don't bother saving it because I don't really care about that. And Jorkadim comes out, but he does not have Metalcraft. He only has one artifact in the field. So our Thada player has 8 cards in hand, swings at me. I just take it because it's not a lot of damage. Body Double comes out, targeting Duplicant, which goes for my Karn, which means I can't save it because it's an exile effect. But I do make sure to sacrifice it anyway, so it goes to my graveyard at least. And then he sacrifices the Phyrexian Metamorph with High Market, triggering its Undying, so it comes back and gets to copy something else, which copies Jorkadim. And interestingly enough, Jorkadim is owned by Arc Slash, but see what happens with it. It's an interesting bug. Jorkadim is killed, and Darksteel Plate ends up on Thada Adele's side. How did that happen? I have no idea. But it was a permanent effect, and it stayed on her side for the rest of the game, so that's kind of odd. Though he did say that he can't use it as use it like an equipment, so it's on his side and he's controlling it, but he can't use it. But I guess it's not the worst bug, but at the same time now Jorkadim can't actually use it, so kind of funny. I just drop a land, kill Jessica because she's annoying. And then I play Gonful Power for all the manas. And I just play Hellkite Tyrant because why not? Retriever because why not? And then I just start blowing things up because that's always fun. I take out the Soul Ring because the blue player already has more than enough cards in hand. So I'm just going to hit the mana so she can't do that much with her hand. She's going to be a little bit more restricted on what she can play per turn. But our Jorkadim player has none of that. I have 5 cards in hand. I have a ridiculous board position, and he doesn't know it yet, but I have Kadoltha Forge Master to really sweep the game afterwards. And I also have the Liquid Metal Coating plus Karn combination once I kill the Mirror Retriever to retrieve it. So I have this one in the bag, and I think my Jorkadim opponent understands that. So what he does is he plays Jorkadim, I think he plays Jorkadim? No, he just goes for the hand, I guess. Yeah, plays Jorkadim. And he swings at the Thada player. I'm not sure if he's he just goes for her out of spite or because he can do more damage. He can do more damage that way because I have Mirror Retriever as a chump blocker that I'll happily use, but at least this way he gets to kill a duplicate or deal a massive amount of damage. So he goes for that. It's a Thada turn. She does, well, she has lots of land. Plays Sculpting Steel for duplicate. Oh no, Gauntlet of Power. To get more mana so she can start doing more things. She steals Hellkite Tyrant. This is a giant threat for me because if I don't deal with Hellkite Tyrant, he's going to swing at me and then steal all my artifacts, which is a plenty, so that's pretty scary. But I do have Liquid Metal Coating plus Shattering Pulse to destroy Hellkite Tyrant, or be sneaky and kill the Control Magic and hope that he doesn't use High Market in response. So that was that. I just drop down my hand because why not? Shattering Pulse, I'm taking out his mana, so he's again restricted on how many plays he can do per turn. And I take out his Mind's Eye. This guy forks it, and he's going to be taking out my Mind's Eye as well. So both our Mind's Eye go down. That doesn't really matter, as I have plenty of things to do already. And I just drop down Junk Diver and start just shattering everything I want, because why not? Hellkite tries to kill my Slobad. I let it. I have to destroy the Control Magic. Get rid of the Hellkite Tyrant. So, boom. Hellkite Tyrant goes away. It's sacrificed instead of given back to me. And there's a small window where like a Vandal Blast or something can really hurt me. But it doesn't seem like Jorkadim has it. And instead of going for me, which really wouldn't amount for anything because I just chump block with both my Junk Diver and Mirror Retriever and be in a nice spot, he instead goes for the Fat Adele, who's wide open, and deals exactly 22 damage to take him out. And right after that, he just decides to concede because he has one card in hand, nothing to do against this crazy position. So he kills out the Fat Adele, just to say he killed somebody. Well, actually he killed two people, so that's pretty good on him. He get more points than me, and then he concedes immediately afterwards. So I hope you enjoyed game 1.